Week 3? What was that, boys?
Welcome to the UPBL podcast.
Featuring special guest host, Take 5.
Oh, yeah. Let's go, boys. Let's get into another edition of Throwing Ropes. What was that week, guys? I feel like every week we're greeted with something new.
Okay.
Football's a beautiful, fun thing. And I've been loving it. Oh, my God, boys. We got a special guest on the horn. Hello. Jack,
hello.
Danny, we have a special guest on the line all the way from Philadelphia. Mr. Zeke Stevens. Here. And Miss Leedy Stevens.
Hello.
And they are here to talk a little bit of trade analysis on what went down between Jeffrey and Danny last week, where Jeffrey traded. Would you believe this, Zeke? Jeffrey trades.
Wait, hold on. Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
And we're recording you.
But by the way, hello, welcome to the show. Before we get to that, what's going on? How is it out there?
Took a tough loss last night. Good thing I'm not a Phillies fan, not an Eagles fan, so didn't give a shit. But
because being a Bears fan is better.
Absolutely. But
He's got the coat.
Bet against the Eagles if you want to win some money. That's all it takes.
You don't trust in Jalen Hurts?
No, man. I mean, I think he has some growing to do, but I think he's just another like scrub, like he's just another, he's like a Heineke character, I don't know. He just doesn't have that. He works in the NCAA kind of college forum, but when it comes to the NFL, man, you need what the Chargers have. You need like a Kyler Murray. Jalen Hurts, I don't think he's going to bring him anywhere past maybe a playoff game.
And do you miss Carson Wentz?
Sorry?
Do you miss Carson Wentz?
No, I never even missed him to begin. I never even liked him to miss him, Yeah, I don't know. I just think the Eagles need to they need to just the whole division blows. Besides Dallas, and I just think they need to really think smart about the next draft. They have Miles Sanders, they have a great line, they have a great defense. They just need to kind of put it all together, and unfortunately, it comes down to leadership. And Jalen Hurts just isn't the captain for that squad. He's not the quarterback for that squad. Backup maybe, but if you ask me, I think if Nick Foles was still there, I think Big Dick Foles can get it done better than Hurts can.
Maybe the Eagles should look at him should look to the Bears for a trade. But Jalen Hurts has been producing for fantasy.
He has. He threw 2 picks this week, and he still managed 20.5 points in our half PPR league.
What do you think about that?
I mean,
326 yards.
I mean, if I had him on my bench and there was a bye, I think I'd be okay with putting him in. But I'm definitely not drafting him. I'm probably picking him up on waivers,
So our league's a little different, Zeke. We actually run a super flex. So that means most of our teams have 2 starting quarterbacks.
Oh, wow.
So that's
Hurts
a huge difference.
Third round pick by somebody.
He was
third round pick.
He was the 3rd round pick. He was like the 10th or 11th quarterback off the board.
Wow. Well, I kind of wish I was joining your league. It sounds like easy money.
Well, speak of that, real quick before we dig into our league, how's your fantasy season stacking up? We're 3 weeks in.
So I have 3 leagues. I have one with Sleeper, I have one with ESPN, and I have one with Yahoo. And I am 3-0 in all 3. So I mean, you kind of got the right guy on tonight, man.
That's ridiculous.
They call me the Nick Saban of fantasy. So
my God. I have another question. What of those 3 apps is your favorite to use?
Ooh, I really like the Sleeper, man. It's really cool because it is like a middleman for all the money. You kind of pay into it, and it holds the money for you until it pays you out, which is really cool.
Cool.
It doesn't allow you to continue unless you do, enter your money. And it's clean, it's easy to navigate, it's color coordinated. I don't know, I just feel like it's robust. Looking looking at the Yahoo app and the ESPN app, it kind of feels like old school rotisserie chicken.
Mm-hmm. I've heard good things about Yahoo app, but not good things about ESPN app. We are ESPN users all in the league, and we've had our complaints. But that's why I'm curious to hear, and that's awesome to hear that Sleeper app, which I've also looked into, is actually maybe quality. Now, Zeke, who was your top first? Last question I'll ask about your team. Who were your top number one draft picks?
So I did a running back, receiver, quarterback thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
Thanks,
so I did a Derrick Henry. Then I got Adams from Green Bay.
Right.
And then I saw Tyreek Hill still on the board, so I grabbed Tyreek Hill.
No way.
Montgomery. Then I grabbed Montgomery from Chicago.
You got Devontae Adams.
I don't know about these leagues you're playing.
You got Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I did.
All right.
And I nagged the sleeper league also has a super flex. My super flex is Kirk Cousins.
Yes, nice.
And my starting quarterback is Tom Brady. And
I knew you'd be a Tom Brady guy.
Kirk Cousins is QB6 on the year.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins, man, he gets better every week, so it's great. He's a slinger.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's bring you on for the reason we brought you on the show. So last week we had the very first trade go down in our league, Jeffrey and Danny. Jack, do you want to set the table?
I don't have any plates.
All right, well, do you want to finish setting the table for Zeke here about what was traded?
I actually don't know off the top of my head.
I know exactly what was traded. I'll take the handoff right back. It was a play action, boys. By the way, Jack, knock knock.
Who's there?
Little old lady.
Little old lady who?
Didn't know you guys could yodel. And so our trade is Tyson Williams and, get this, Robbie Anderson going for being traded to Jeffrey for the players of Julio Jones and Myles Gaskin.
Wow.
So Myles Gaskin and Julio Jones going one way, and going back the other way is Tyson Williams and Robbie Anderson.
Well, Robbie Anderson's been like one of those guys that for some reason you can like pick in years past, you could like pick him up on the waivers for a total steal. It's one of those like non-sexy receivers that like gets you points under the radar. But this year he's been kind of I don't know, he's been really sluggish. So I don't know. I like whoever got Julio Jones and Gaskin, I think got the upside of that deal by a long shot actually. I don't know if Jeffrey Jeffrey owes Danny one or something like that, but it sounds like, I don't know. I'm not saying that. I'm not. Listen.
No, that's why we brought you on. Speculate.
It's subjective, but I don't know. Why? I don't know. Jeff, there's no way. There's no upside. I just would have declined it. I would have been like, give me something better at least, or just kind of like hold on and wait for a better trade further down the road. I don't think that was something that you need to swap spit with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so here's the thing. Jeffrey offered me the trade. He offered me Julio and Gaskin.
Wait. And who's me? Who's me?
Danny.
Jeff. Who?
Danny.
Okay.
So Jeff offered me Julio and Gaskin, and I said, "Yeah, I'll take that trade."
Absolutely.
Instantly.
It's like it absolutely, and it's like I would be overjoyed and kind of like I would be like hurrying to press the accept button as soon as I saw that trade because I can't believe that is something that
Who do you think are the best two players in the deal?
I think Julio Jones is a sleeping giant, and I think Gaskin's going to get his run later in the season, inevitably when kind of like running backs kind of like fall to the wayside. So that's why that's what I feel.
Interesting.
Has Tyson seen any movement or play in your league, or is there any hype?
No, actually, I just like for some reason I couldn't even remember who that was. I had to like off the radar kind of like look up who that was.
Oh, he's the best running back in the league. It was
For Baltimore.
Yeah, he's like okay, so he's the backup guy behind the like 3 that fell. Yeah, I don't know, man. I still I think as soon as those healthy Ravens come back, which they will, Mr. Williams is going to be back warming that bench. So you got to think long run, you guys. You can't be amateur and fucking do the short game. You got to think long run.
We have a 14-game season, Zeke. 14-game regular season. Weeks 15, 16, and 17
Zeke
is
firing
the playoffs.
shots at Jeffrey.
People have been feeling the pressure, though.
Shot across the bow at Jeffrey.
It really was.
Be on the lookout in Philadelphia right now.
That's why I wanted to bring Zeke on, though, because Zeke was an outside presence. He's not part of the league. He can provide just a straight reaction, gut reaction from where he's at. That's why I really wanted to bring you on for this, Zeke. Thank you for coming on.
Here's what it is, Jeff. Great guy. I'm sorry. Great.
No.
Wait.
All right. Hey, it was nice to have you.
We're editing this part out. Just let you know.
Here's Jeff. Great father, good guy, bad manager. All right. With a deal like that, bro, you need to stick to being a good guy and a great father. Okay. That or just why don't you just give your friends the money before the season even starts, dude? You can't be making trades like.
Wow. Yeah, I agree with your assessment, Zeke. As soon as I heard the trade go down, I had to approve this as league commissioner. And I was like, part of me was like...
I upheld it.
I had to uphold it. because I'm like, he's signed off on this. This is like... so, boom, it went through. And I was like... But I could not believe what he gave up. I thought he gave up the 2 best players in the deal to get the 2 worst players. Literally, cuttable candidates this week. You could cut either one of those guys.
I just really quick before I go, I just want to know who's the crown jewel on each of your teams.
All right, that's a good question. Danny.
Josh Allen.
Nice.
James would be Aaron Jones or Russ Wilson. I also have Tyler Lockett, so I got jewels.
Yeah, Lockett's great.
I got Mahomes pick number 1 because of our Superflex league, and then I got Kelsey behind him, and then I picked up Jamar Chase way later on. So
that's a good
those are
steal.
three pretty good ones that I like.
That's really great. I like that last sequence. That sounds like something that is strong. One of my last things of advice. I've been doing leagues for the past decade, and I have a few rings. So let me just leave you with some words of advice. When you draft a quarterback, make sure that you also draft his stud receiver so you can get that like dual combo.
The double stack.
Yeah, the double stack always pays dividends.
It does.
And I don't see a lot of people doing that. If you get Rodgers, you're going to grab Adams. If you're grabbing Mahomes, you're going for Hill. If you grab, if you go for why is he slipping my name right now?
Dak Prescott? Lamar.
Ravens quarterback.
Lamar Jackson.
Get Hollywood.
Yes. All right.
Yep.
That's the advice right there.
I think that's great advice. Stacks. I know Austin stacked his team. He has Dak Prescott along with CeeDee Lamb. I have Russell Wilson along with Lockett. I'm not sure about any other stacks.
Russell Wilson and Lockett is so underrated and under the radar that it's just beautiful. They've had a connection for years, and I love that. I love those picks.
Zeke, let me blow your mind. So last week, I'm 3rd highest scoring team in the league, but I'm 0-3.
Wow.
I ran into the highest scorers of the week the first 2 weeks, and then this week I played Justin Fields.
Yeah, wow.
That's why you lost.
That's why I lost.
The second thing of advice, never draft players from your favorite team. I know it's hard. I know you want to do it, but it's like you should never make bets based on your favorite team. You should never draft players in your favorite team. Leave the emotion out of it. It's the stock market, baby, and you got to be smart.
It's so true.
Zeke, this is the part where you go, so, James, good husband, good dog owner. Drafting players based on emotion. You got to be equal opportunity shots at all the grinders at this point.
I got 2 questions.
I think at the end of the season there's going to be the Super Bowl, the final championship, and then there's going to be the Toilet Bowl, which is going to be renamed and redubbed the Grinder Bowl because it sounds like you look these guys.
Hey, I'm a 2-time champion. Me and Teddy have the most championships in our league, in our 6-year league.
Wow.
7-year league. So
Well, let me know if there's an opening next year. It
we'll
sounds
keep
like
you in
it's
mind. Dude,
Yeah.
we've always kept you in mind.
Definitely.
So next opening, we'll definitely get you, and that'd be a
And,
blast.
oh my God, the blood feud starting week 1 between Jeff and Zeke would be amazing. You got to come in next year, man.
It'd be great.
Absolutely.
I have a few more
Well-
questions before I let you go.
Okay.
So we're running Fab this year. I don't know if you know Fab, the Fab system for waivers.
No.
So Fab, you get a budget of $100 over the length of the season to be able to make
yeah.
your waiver wire your claims.
Right,
It
right.
only runs the one day. Every day after that, they're free to claim, but that one
Yeah.
day you have to pay money. So week 1, Uncle Jay ponied up like $70, paid $50 for Mitchell, paid $20 and grabbed Mike Williams. It was a great play, but he spent most of his Fab capital. Now my question to you involves CMC going down this week. Is CMC some guy you're looking to trade for? What does it cost? And B, how much Fab are you spending on Chuba if he's only there for 2-3 weeks?
Okay, CMC and Chuba.
Chuba Hubbard, yeah. So Christian McCaffrey.
Okay, Hubbard. Okay, yeah. I'm keeping. You guys have an injured reserve
Yes.
on your league.
Yes.
I'm definitely keeping CMC there, dude. I mean, like,
You don't want to
he's
trade
like-
him for trade bait?
No, he's Thanos.
Mhm.
And Hubbard, I think he's the Cowboys stud, right? That's been like pushing Zeke around, right?
That's Pollard.
Who's Hubbard on?
Hubbard's the backup to McCaffrey. So he's going to be a hot commodity.
He's trash, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he has big shoes to fill, and the offense is still trying to find their new identity without CMC, and so he's just kind of going to be there, like he's kind of their science experiment, man. So it's kind of a coin flip for that. I sure as hell wouldn't have paid 30. Here's what you get when you have that system, when you have that money and you only have $100. People sometimes will like grab somebody on waivers and they'll put $1 in just to kind of trump anybody else that's also putting on waiver. So don't go 1, always go 2 or 3, and I promise you 90% of the time you're going to get the guy.
That's great tips there.
You got to save it to the end, man. You got to really save it to the end.
Oh, that's a great tip there for Fab. Zeke,
yeah.
you're a fantastic guest. Thank you so much for coming on. Last question. What do you think about the Bears next week starting Bofa?
I love it. I think they need to do something different. And
no, they're starting, but they're going to start Bofa in defense.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay, I love it.
You don't like it? You don't love it?
Bofa?
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
Well, listen. You were gung ho about Fields, and look how that ended. Like maybe it's a case of the opposite days, and just give him a chance. You know what I mean? Like, look, he understands the enormity of the game. He understands what's on the line, his career, his family, and everything. The dude's gonna step up and rise to the occasion. He's part of the monsters in the Midway. There's a big reputation defense. They give him a shot that says something, and yeah, man, I like it, man. Throw in Rudy. But hey, guys, hey, it was really great talking to you guys, and thank you for having me on your show. I want to thank all of your 3 viewers, and can't wait to see you guys in real life, man.
Love it, man. Thank you so
Same,
much
man.
for coming on, Zeke. That was so great.
Zeke.
All right.
All right, brother. All right, Zeke. Zeke and Leedy, we will catch you guys later. Have a great one.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Oh, that was awesome. All right, guys. Now let's break into a little bit of analysis for the week. First game, you could tear me apart. Me and my dad, 111 to 88, and I played Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Dude,
I wouldn't have done that.
My notes for James's game, if you look at the score line, James, you put so many. What's so hard about your lineup is like you could have done better, right? But you would have had to sit Hopkins and Lockett, which in what reality would you ever?
Doesn't make any sense.
All your other guys showed up. I mean, Justin Fields was a bad pick. But
I'll tell you my one thing that I was thinking about last week, though, was Hines and Edwards-Helaire. I was literally thinking maybe I start Hines this week because Helaire has not been doing much for me. But then I'm also like, he's playing the Chargers. I'm hoping they'll get him more involved. He's still one of my top running backs, so I rolled with Clyde. And guess what? Guess who scored the most points? Hines.
Yeah, I mean, not by much,
one
though.
point.
By
More.
1 point. But still,
Yeah.
interesting that Hines was that reliable. And I know that Uncle Jay has the starting running back for Indianapolis, and he has not been producing as well as Hines has, as basically a nobody for me.
James, what quarterback did you drop for Justin Fields?
Matt Ryan.
How did he do this week?
That's a good question.
Huh.
I'll look it
13,
up
14.
while we look at Dad's team. Do you got that information, Jack?
No, off the top of my head, I think Matt Ryan scored 13, 14, because I was looking at him too, and
Yeah, he put up.
I think
13.
he did okay.
Oh,
But,
just kidding. He put up 15.6.
15 points.
There we go.
Yeah, I kind of
he
expect
did
him to
good.
do that the rest of the season. 15, 16 points, maybe a 20 here, maybe a 12 or a 10 here. He's going to be somewhere right there in that range.
Yeah, I mean, QBs didn't do that well this week overall, except for
Damn.
Danny's.
Tannehill had an okay week, 21.
Yeah, Cousins did well. Tannehill did well.
Cousins did
but,
really
like,
well.
But the Russell Wilsons, the Mahomes, they scored around 20, and it was like, eh.
When I'm looking at my dad's team, who would you have started? Is there anybody else you would have maybe switched out? I don't think you're playing Pittman over Brown, really, or Mark Andrews.
No, I think he made the right call. I think he's got one of the best teams in the league, and he also is. He chooses things unemotionally. I think he's a really smart player. Early contender for the Super Bowl, I would say.
I also got to say, he's got Marquise Brown and Mark Andrews. It's like he could kind of roll the dice on which guy he's going to start there. But you're probably going to mostly go Marquise.
Yeah, I would almost always go Marquise. Mark Andrews, he gets a couple catches, maybe a couple touchdowns, but it's like, his ceiling is probably lower than Brown's, and then Brown probably has a lower floor, honestly, but not that much lower.
So the one thing about Marquise, though, is his nickname Hollywood has been revoked. He dropped 3 touchdowns last week.
Wow. Didn't know that.
Yep. Moving on to the next game. That'll be Danny versus Elliot. Wow. Danny's little meme before the game was great. I'll see if I can't pull it up. I don't have it.
I mean, basically, just Elliot and I were in trade talks during the week, and he said, "Your team isn't of value, so sorry for your loss." And then he scored under 80 points. And so, yeah.
On your team, Danny, sorry, Jack, go ahead.
I just thought Danny and I were taking notes before the game, and we were actually talking about this during the game, but the score line is really, really hilarious for Danny. He's got one QB scoring 31 points, one QB scoring 37 and change.
Dude, you only have 3 players scoring in double digits.
He's got 3 players under 10.
That's nuts.
And he still puts up numbers.
You got 80 points.
Imagine if his players actually did good.
80 points.
The whole strategy of this team is 2 stud quarterbacks, and I've seen rankings for this week. Herbert's number 4, Allen's number 2. If I can get a couple of these waiver guys to score 10 points at wide receiver, that's all the team needs.
Yeah, you're dangerous. Your one switch. Ayuk's back. I mean, obviously you're going to take Rondale Morak, and you'll put Ayuk in there.
Yeah, Shep is hurt, and then Julio might be hurt, but I could put in Patrick, Ayuk, and Gronk, and those guys would all get me points.
Is Gronk the number 2 tight end? James, can you check super quick?
In our league, he's number 2.
Correct. Okay. Kelsey's number 1. Gronk number 2. He's been doing good, man.
What do you guys think? Gronk versus New England this week. What do you think?
You already know my answer.
Tom Brady's gonna destroy Mac Jones. I think that if you could put money, if there's like even points or Patriots are giving up points, take Brady.
But I'm asking, what do you think of Gronkowski's performance? What is he going to do this week?
Maybe a touchdown.
He's going to get 3 touchdowns. 3 touchdowns.
He's definitely going to get a touchdown, though.
I'm thinking 3.
Over on Elliot's
team. I have
team.
synchronized notes.
On Elliot's team, I mean, actually, he made an interesting play here where he played Justin Jefferson as his OP.
And he was correct.
But he should have played him instead of TJ Hawkinson and then played Joe Burrow.
TJ is a sketchy fucking play. I don't want to talk shit, but TJ is sketchy.
Yeah, when it comes week to week,
I'll talk shit about What he told me in trades is he'll trade anyone but Hawkinson, which I didn't understand.
That's ridiculous. He's the number one guy in Detroit, though. But still, I mean, look, he puts up
DeAndre Swift is the number one guy.
Yeah, you're right about that. And also, I mean, TJ puts up 2 points here, and if this was my team here, I would have started Waller. I would have started Godwin or Jefferson, and I would have started Debo. And then
I would have. Starting Washington defense was interesting against the Bills too.
I do not like the
really crazy decision.
Washington defense is so droppable.
And,
you don't have to.
I think Debo stocks are starting to go down.
With the emergence of Ayuk.
Again.
It's going to be, here's the thing. It's going to be any one of those three guys. Kittle, Ayuk, or Debo. It's going to be any one of those three games any given week.
Right. Kittle went up this week, stock-wise. Barely.
But Kittle's probably the most talented of the three. Moving on to the next game, Power Walkers versus Jack. Jeffrey with 110 to 132 from Jack. Jeffrey played Tyson Williams, which he traded for. He did not play Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson did not produce. His lowest producers of his team were Robbie Anderson and Tyson Williams.
Yeah, dude, Jeff got unlucky with a couple, especially Tyson. I feel like, I mean, let's just take a look. If he puts in James Robinson, his third pick for Tyson, does he?
He loses by like 2 points.
2 points. So then he has to make one better decision, or
he's playing Leonard Fournette instead of Jalen Waddle.
He did play Fournette.
Who the fuck is Jalen Waddle?
He's number 2 guy over out in Miami.
Yeah, kind of a harder. That's not
a no-brainer.
That is not a no-brainer. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, Jeff had a tough
but I'll
week.
tell you what is a no-brainer.
0-3.
I'll tell you what is a no-brainer. Leonard Fournette was going against the Rams defense. Were you really going to play a running back against the Rams?
It's a tough decision, but let me tell you what Jeff did do correctly.
Yep.
I think he picked up the Browns. Let me check on my
What a
screen.
play there. That's a great
picked
play.
Up Browns, and I think that was the highest scoring defense of the week, honestly, and I did well too. But
he got 30 points from his special teams.
Yeah, he picked him up for $5 just for this week against Chicago. I'm not going to call him a traitor, but he
Browns,
definitely didn't.
You could hold on to them, I think. They're an okay defense.
Browns are good. Hey, I picked up Baker. I believe in the Browns. Mm-hmm. It's tough, but
so let's see. You played Baker. You played played Patrick. Those are great. And we see Kenyon Drake played. That was the mistake.
Favorite player. Everyone else's least favorite player.
Yeah, you should. And Kenneth Gainwell, you maybe could have swapped for Peyton for the actual Las Vegas starter.
Right.
Just an idea.
I don't know.
Well, I've seen people are wondering what's going on with the Bills' backfield.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting one.
But the thing is, Singletary. Oh, Zeke's still here. Singletary last week had a good week, and this week Zach Moss does. So,
he's just listening into the show. He's just loving it.
He's gonna hop in randomly. But hey, you know what? I think I'm gonna play Zach Moss over Kenyon Drake next week. It might bite me in the ass, but
I would play Zach Moss over Kenyon Drake.
Drake is good for 8 points a game, and that's fine for my setup. But like Zach Moss, they're giving him touches near the red zone. It feels like an opportunity. So
if he's getting the red zone touches, that's huge. Moving on to the next game, we got Austin versus Jay. Uncle Jay. Austin put up 105 points to Uncle Jay's 136. Dak Prescott, I thought he was going to have a heck of a game after that very first pass to CeeDee Lamb. I mean, they
looked a little weak in the second half, you know?
I thought he was going to throw 30 points, and he only put up 20. Still really good.
Still fine, but, halfway through Austin's playing his guys, I think he said something in chat like, I didn't make the right decisions, this week. And, going through it, I don't know if there's any way he could have won. That was before Uncle Jay's players put up all his points. Of course, he has Mike Williams and Kupp and Stafford just dominating. And that's the triple stack for you. Or no, that's not triple stack. Confusing the LA teams. But Jesus. Kupp, Williams, Stafford.
Uncle Jay's got Stafford and Kupp. Uncle Jay's got one of the best. Oh man, that's so ridiculous. They're putting
That's
up
a
like
crazy
60
double
points.
stack.
They're putting 60 points a game.
It's a crazy double stack. And he's got Lamar Jackson like as his solo QB at the top. So.
That's awesome too. Yeah, Uncle Jay's got a very good team. Jeff
Mm-hmm.
For Austin, his mistake playing J.D. McKissick over Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams has a role in that Detroit offense, and he's clearly Austin's second best quarterback right now.
I wouldn't call that a big mistake, though. That's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, it is.
McKissick had that crazy game.
McKissick?
Williams is the RB2 in Detroit, you know?
And also, you also thought McKissick might have carved himself out a role with the Washington offense based upon his performance last game. So
I don't think Austin did much wrong. He just got unlucky.
I don't even know if he got unlucky. I think he just almost like psyopsed himself with the last week McKissick doing so good, and he was like, all right, I got to play this guy, and then he didn't turn out as well as Jamal Williams, and now he's going to be back and forth.
He plays Jamal Williams, and he gets 10 more points. He still loses by 20 because Jay's team is powerful.
Yeah, he was going to lose this week no matter what. But still, are you playing Sammy Watkins or Cole Beasley?
Sammy Watkins.
Sammy Watkins is like the number one guy, but is he getting all the throw? Cole Beasley is a PPR giant. And he's outscored Watkins 2 weeks out of 3.
Beasley this year, Beasley falls into kind of that like Robbie Anderson category of wide receivers, in my opinion, where like he burns you out. Or,
I would rather have Beasley.
He's like Christian Kirk.
Yes, that's a good one. That's a good comparison. Yeah, but I'd rather have Cole Beasley than the first guy you mentioned. When it comes to Kirk or Beasley, maybe want Kirk because right now I don't know if there's a better quarterback right now. I mean, just fantasy wise than Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
Uncle Jay made huge moves last week or in the week 1 where when he picked up Mike Williams. I mean, we want to talk about this.
Did you know someone had Mike Williams first? First off, no one drafted Mike Williams. Right. You know who picked him up off waivers first?
Who?
Bruce.
Oh, should have kept him. He needs wide outs.
For $0.
How's Bruce looking? Are we moving on to his game?
No, not yet.
Or are we going on to Corn Shuckers?
Right now we're on still Uncle Jay. But Uncle Jay, we want to comment, though. He might have the number one guy in Mike Williams. Keenan Allen might be 1B.
You know, what I was reading that I kind of agree with is it's only been 3 weeks. The top 20 wide receivers now very well might not be the top 20.
Right.
10 weeks from now. So I wouldn't make, Williams looks good. Keenan Allen's amazing. I wouldn't make bold predictions.
Well, I'll ask you this.
On that core.
I'll
tell you this.
Are you looking for Allen Robinson?
What's up?
Are you looking at Allen Robinson as a buy low candidate? Because he is just underproduced, and Chicago's quarterbacks have been awful.
It just depends. If Foles is in, I want Robinson.
Or what about the other guy? Red Rifle.
Dalton? Yeah, sure.
You'll take Robinson in that case too?
He's a great receiver. I don't think Justin Fields cannot get sacked. So
that'll be interesting. Yeah, I hope it's not just Justin Fields. I think that's Nagy. I was watching some of those plays, and it was just like he's just getting eaten. Now, this game was a backbreaker for Little Tommy. Little Tommy loses by 2 points, 138 to 140 to Little Teddy. It was the battle of the Littles. And Teddy came out bigger.
What a heartbreaker. What a heartbreak!
And they both put up mega points. I think Teddy gets second high score of the week, and for the second week in a row. And that's huge. And Tommy just missed out on it, especially after they sat Ezekiel Elliott, and he just had to watch his team lose.
And you know what? Like, I'd say pretty much every call Tommy made was solid. I'm looking at his bench. I wouldn't have done anything different.
Yeah, you got an argument for Marvin Jones or Cortland Sutton, but Cortland Sutton had a hell of a game last week, so you're riding that high.
Monster, yeah.
So you're riding that high.
And Teddy is taking an interesting approach. I think he kind of did this last year, where he just got stud wide receivers and running backs, and doesn't care about quarterback.
Dude, he just
that
has.
OP?
Yeah, that's exactly what he has. He has stud middle, but the buns of his burger are really poor. They're like White Castle quality, but the rest of it is like he's got stacks of just money, the best meat. Derrick Henry, Kareem Hunt, Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, Mike Evans, and he can.
Which I think It gives him a higher ceiling than other teams,
but
but
also a
he
lower
does
floor.
have so he has a lower floor, so like he could bust really hard. Last year
Or was it
worked
week?
out well for him.
Was it week 1 this year? He had the lowest score.
He did.
I
He did have the
think,
lowest score
yeah.
this first week.
Maybe
And
like
then,
Which
low
is-
80s or something.
think about that. Lowest score the first week, and then the high score the next 2 weeks in a row.
But that's because if you have 2 quarterbacks, you raise your floor.
Mm-hmm.
And if he doesn't, like Jack said, like he can shoot for the moon, but he could also fall pretty hard.
These are the
I think he's
interesting
going to win more
strategies.
games than he loses.
These are the interesting strategies that have emerged, I think, in our league. Is that stack the middle, or your new method, Danny, with stacking the 2 best quarterbacks you can get.
And then just bullshit on waivers and hope it works.
Over.
Yeah.
Oh, go on.
If you look at his team, it's like, all right, Big Ben, 13 points, and then the rest of his, meat and potatoes players, insane. Derrick Henry, 17.9 points. He could do that every week. Kareem Hunt, 24.5 points.
He won't do
Probably
that.
probably can't do that every week.
15
But look at
points,
the-
though. Yeah, you could.
But yeah, 15 points he could. Devontae Adams, 25 points. He might be able to do that every week. TK Metcalf, 19.7. He might be able to do that every week. Mike Evans,
15,
14.6. That's not that great for a game for Mike Evans. Brandon Cooks, okay, 16.2. Maybe he doesn't
He's
do that
been doing that
but-
every week. Brandon Cooks has been doing that every
And his
week.
defense and kicker 3 and 6. Okay, it's like I don't know how he got 140. I mean, the math checks out, but
And he made all the right decisions, too. He really did.
yeah.
Oh, you know, I know we do bold predictions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do a bold prediction right now. Teddy's going to bust next week.
Wow. All right, well, that makes sense. Moving on to the last game. We got Uncle Tommy, Jamaican Shamans, taking on My Name's Bruce. Uncle Tommy putting up 128 points to Bruce's 90. And there's Jalen Hurts again. Zeke saying that he's not the answer in Philadelphia, which is interesting to hear, but he is definitely the answer in fantasy.
Philadelphia quarterbacks don't actually win the games they're playing in, but they score points in fantasy. Carson Wentz was like a kind of reliable quarterback for the last couple of years, which is funny. And when he was in Philly.
Right. No, he definitely was. I'd pick him up off waivers.
Yeah.
So
And then
go on.
Saquon Barkley did great. Najee Harris overperformed, did really great.
AJ Brown,
complete
goose egg.
bust.
Rondale Moore.
Please bust.
Yeah,
It
AJ Brown
didn't
got
matter.
injured, but he's going to replace him next week with Tyler Boyd and see how that goes. Amari Cooper with a little bit of a bust this week. I know he's got broken ribs.
Wow, really?
Amari Cooper's. There's a lot. Get this. There's quite a few receivers playing with broken ribs. He's not the only one. I'm not sure the other names, but they were talking about it on a podcast I was listening to recently. DJ Moore's been really good for Carolina. Sam Darnold has been great. Surprisingly good.
Jeff picked him up for pretty cheap, I think. I think he overpaid, but
But hey, man, quarterbacks
Darnold
are
did his
valuable.
job, 25 points. I mean,
And really,
Did you guys read about that league where if a kicker
yeah.
kicked a 66-yarder, that team got 160 points?
that's crazy.
We should do that. Or we should just do if you kick the record field, you get 120 points.
I
No.
don't think you can modify the rules over a season. But we could set it ridiculous, like 66 yards.
It happens once every 10 years.
Can I? I don't know. That's interesting. And then let's see. My name's Bruce. He could have made a few decisions, maybe different. But are you really? You're never not starting Christian McCaffrey and Robert Woods.
No.
I mean, he doesn't have much to pivot to after Robert Woods. So I mean, really, what could he have done?
He probably misses
No, he
Mike
played
Williams
it
right now.
correctly.
Yeah.
No,
I think Woods is going to come back. Also, one thing we worth mentioning is James Conner put up 18 points, which is crazy.
He seems like he's the red zone back for Arizona, but also Edmund is getting some good looks early on. So they're both kind of viable options. I think Edmonds might be the better play than James Conner generally.
100%. I wouldn't do it different.
35 carries? 35 carries?
Who, for Conner?
Holy
Wait,
cow.
in that one game?
He did have 35. He's up to 35.
Oh, no.
Are you kidding?
My bad.
And
Season stats.
No, season stats.
Yeah.
And Chase has 31. So they're
Yeah.
splitting carries, and Chase is
thought he
out
had
there
30.
on first and second downs. Connor's
Hey.
out there for red zones and third.
Ingram had 26 carries last week, I think, and I was like, wow.
And he put up 2.6 points, so he put up
He's
no
done.
points. So yeah, I think he's a droppable candidate for sure.
What do you guys think about Jacksonville and Trevor Lawrence? I mean,
They're gonna struggle all season. So are the Jets, but and Jacoby Brissett, that's the kind of the interesting thing is he on par with Tua, or just a little bit less of a drop off? I think that's the case.
True, but I think they want Tua to be their guy.
Absolutely.
Brissett's not bad though. Holy.
I know. I think he's a great fill-in.
Yeah.
I think that just about rounds out our plays of the week here, everybody. That was a great little show. Anything else we got to add?
Jack, really quick, you want to go through our bold predictions?
Yeah. So
Okay, these are our top 5 wild speculations.
yeah, we're just
coming
gonna do
in week
wild
4.
speculations.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
Danny
Mine
put
is
for
that Gronkowski's going to have 3 touchdowns in a grudge match this weekend.
against the Patriots, which is it's possible. I'm playing Tampa Bay defense, and I believe it's gonna be a bloodbath. So hopefully it's a one-sided bloodbath. Next prediction, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Tyson got 2.2 points this week in our half PPR league.
Tyson Williams.
He's going to go for 50 points next week. I'm just saying. He's going to do it. And he's going to be on the bench.
Yeah, against me, which is funny. I got, if Nick Foles starts, Allen Robinson gets 20 points.
And if Justin Fields starts?
Allen Robinson gets under 5 points.
Damn.
Net points.
So my final things here, just some interesting little league business. I thought this was crazy. Apparently, in the 2019 season, I started out 1-5, made 2 trades, and went on a 9-game winning streak to win
insane.
everything.
James, you said this, but that was
Herbert?
also when we did waiver based on your record.
Correct.
So you got first pick 6 weeks in a row, and were able to pull Herbert off the wire,
Amongst
which I think
other,
was huge.
yeah, amongst other gems, but that was huge.
Yeah.
And last
So
year
I
was
would
our
say-
first year of the Superflex too. So
Right. So I would say if you could replicate that this year with Fab, not saying you're going to go 1-5, but if you did, then I would think, dear God, this man is unstoppable. But I do think it does change the paradigm a little bit that we have Fab now.
it does. I thought
It's
this was
better.
interesting to comment on our past champions. We had me win it in 2017 and 2019. Teddy won it in 2016 and 2020. They're the leaders of the league with 2 championships apiece. Uncle Jimmy won in 2018, and Zach Hayden, now defunct GM manager, won in the inaugural season of 2015.
I got Jimmy and Teddy as early favorites to win it.
And look at that. They got the pedigree. UPBL History Nuggets, I thought this was interesting. 5 founding GMs out of the initial 10 remain, and that is Danny, Jeffrey, Elliot, James, and Teddy. In the next season, 2016, Uncle Jay and Tommy joined the league. The following season after that, in 2017, it was Uncle Jimmy who joined the league. Of course, we had people exiting the league, but they shall not be named. In 2019, the league was expanded to 12 teams, bringing on Jack and Uncle Tommy. And then last year, Austin joined the league. And this year, Bruce has joined the league, and that's how we got our 12 players. I thought that was interesting to go over. And this was crazy, guys. This little walk down memory lane. 2015 first overall pick, Adrian
Brown.
Peterson.
Oh, okay.
Adrian Peterson by Dane. In 2016, Dane had the first overall pick again, and he picked Antonio Brown. Now, get this. Antonio Brown in that previous season was picked 3rd overall. It was just like all Antonio Brown. It was nuts. In
For
2017...
like 3 seasons.
So 2015, Antonio Brown goes 3rd. In 2016, Antonio Brown goes 1st in our league. In 2017, Antonio Brown goes 1st again. In 2018, Todd Gurley II was the 1st overall pick, and he is now retired at age 27. NFL stands for not for long. And in that same season, Antonio Brown went 5th overall. In 2019, Saquon Barkley was the first pick. I believe Danny remembers that.
Yep.
And Antonio Brown
Great.
went 22nd overall that season. Last year, Antonio Brown went undrafted, and he was picked up by 2 teams, but Jack and I, and we both dropped him. He was not on any team to end the season. Christian McCaffrey went first overall in last season. And in this season, Christian McCaffrey went first overall again. But this time, Antonio Brown went 94th overall to Austin, and he's looking like a great little sleeper pick. Antonio Brown. This guy just does not stop. It's kind of crazy. Some players just like have that, like Tom Brady. They're still going. But then
Brown looks good though. He's got to control himself.
But then you got Todd Gurley, who was a first overall pick for everybody, and he's retired from the league. It's just the NFL is so insane. That's all I got there for you boys. Yep. I thought that was an interesting little like walk down memory lane there.
Yep. I have can I say 2 more things?
Yes.
One, I actually thought the trade with Jeffrey was pretty fair
at the time
when I hit accept, and I still do, despite what Zeke says.
Mm-hmm.
And second, we miss our other co-host today, Tommy. He said he's actually flying out, I think, to Cincinnati.
Yep, Cincinnati.
To interview Joe Burrow about. He said something about hemorrhoids.
Something about hemorrhoids.
Yep.
Yeah, but he's gonna have a Joe Burrow interview with us.
In the can next week.
Yep.
Here on Throwing Ropes. Thank you guys, Take 5, for joining us. What a show! Great show. What a nice little surprise there that we had. And thank you everybody for joining us. Smash that like button, subscribe for more Throwing Ropes, and we will catch you on the other side of the line.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.